There we go. Yeah, this is a lav kind of video. All right, let's talk about Hydra here. We are hopefully finishing this thing today. This is the new streaming PC for the new streaming room for Senpai HQ. Massive liquid cooled PC that I can plug 10 4K cameras into. Let's finish it. Hey you, come here. I'm coming to you from a construction site to tell you a little secret. We're working on a massive merch drop, Senpai Merch Series 1, that will be released as soon as Senpai HQ is done here. But I bring good news. For those of you who want merch now, we are doing a pre-release, an early limited release of Senpai Merch Series 0. A single hoodie and a flag, link down in the description below. Go grab one now if you're looking for some Senpai merch, because as soon as these are gone, they're gone and you'll have to wait until Series 1. That is all. Enjoy the Series 0 merch. Back to the video. So I bit the liquid cooling PC bug with the Orthrus build that we did last time, which was a dual PC and a single case build. It was a ton of fun. It took me a couple weeks, just like this one has taken me a couple weeks. I'm always missing fittings, gotta order some new things, trying some new stuff. This one is a dual loop build. So our Orthrus was 3 different components on a single loop. We had 2 GPUs and a single CPU on a single 480 rad, which ended up working great. Nothing went over like 35C. This is a CPU on its own loop and a GPU on its own loop. This is the first time I've done a single PC stream setup in like 4 years. We're gonna give it a try. Let me show you how this is gonna be cooled. So each of these loops is being cooled by its own, is it 520 rad? 560 rad? Hold on. 560 rad. 560 rad for the CPU, 560 rad for the GPU, with four 140 fans on each side. These are the Lee & Lee SL 140s. So it should be a stupid amount of cooling on this thing. And we have our little mascot down here too. Do you need something? He just picked up our puppy this morning. No, it's okay. Leave him down here for a minute. He's our little mascot. Just make sure you point the camera at him every once in a while. That's how we're gonna retain our viewers. But yeah, the idea of this one is to cool it as much as possible so I can overclock it and I can get as many cameras running as I want. The reason I went with a single PC this time instead of a dual PC that I've been doing for years, I think I went through like 3 dual PC setups, is I game more off stream than I game on stream, and it's a bummer. Dude, I'm sweating. Yeah, let's lose this. Hey dude, you wanna see the PC? Hey, come here, let me show you daddy's work. What do you think? Does it have enough power? No, Dad, it needs a little bit more RAM. You know nothing about PCs. Stupid dog. He's so dang cute. I can't handle that. Yeah, to get him out of here. I'm not gonna get this video done if he's down here. But yeah, the frustrating thing is when I game off stream, I only get to use half the power of the setup that I've got, because the other half, the streaming half, just sits there idle unused. So I wanted a system for when I wasn't streaming, I can game using 100% of the power, and with the new encoders built into the GPUs on NVENC, I mean, they're just getting so powerful that there's no serious reason for a dual PC setup unless you're running a pretty weak gaming setup. We got a 3090 and a 5950X in there. I don't think we're gonna have any problems. But what's left on this thing to do, we got a couple more bends to do. We gotta do this one from the CPU water block down into the reservoir. And then, other than that, all that's left is these 2 going back into the radiators on the back, which is coming from the radiators to the water blocks. So we're gonna do that halfway hardlined and halfway soft tubing, just to make it a little easier to get these to line up perfect here. I don't trust myself to do that long, weird, multiple bends so perfect that these just line up. Scott, do your thing. Cool. It's done. Did it. I didn't know what to do there. The magic of editing what looked like 30 seconds actually took us about 4 days. But the PC is up and it's running and it is done. At least this version is done. Let's take a look at the loop, because this ended up being way more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. The front ones looked great when we were finishing. Let me come around here. The front ones looked awesome. You can probably tell now they're not perfectly straight the way they were last shot when I had them all lined up, because these runs in the back ended up being so difficult. We first did the left clear one with soft tubing, which I thought was gonna be the plan, is to do soft tubing on the back here, but the tension of the soft tubing was pushing it completely off to the side and it just wasn't gonna be possible. And I have very little rigid tubing left. So I had to like cut it up and see what I could do and toss it together using what fittings I had. And we got it to work, but it's not perfectly straight. But that's fine, because let's take a look and let me tell you what the final version of this is gonna be like. It's about time I have like a working version that I can finally start gaming and streaming with. But the goal of this, the end goal of this, is to take out these reservoirs and pumps entirely and take these side glass panels that are missing right now and turn them into distribution plates, like custom distro plates. I've never even used a distro plate before. This will be another huge undertaking of something brand new and a learning experience, but we're gonna turn this into a red distro plate, this into a clear distro plate. But for now, it's done enough to work and to cool and to play ridiculous gaming sessions on and to stream on. Speaking of streaming, let's take a look at the capture cards, because that was the main reason I went with this. I'm super excited to have a single PC setup in here. Right now we've got the Camlink Pro, which has 4 HDMI inputs, which you can run any of them on either 1080-60 or 4K30, and we're gonna be going 4K30 on all of them. We'll be streaming, I think we'll be streaming 1440p on YouTube. That's what I've been doing for the last little bit. 4K adds like 25 seconds of latency. 4K you can still do in about 5 seconds. Sorry, 1440p, you can still be doing in about 5 seconds of latency, which is a huge step up, and nobody misses 4K when you got 1440p. So we got 4 4K inputs, an HD 60 Pro, and a 4K 60 Pro, which this 4K 60 Pro I will also be swapping out with another Camlink Pro for another 4 inputs. We've got the 4K 60 Pro right now because I want to run a test. I get a lot of people that ask me if I'm on a single PC setup, should I go out of the GPU into a capture card? Is that going to take fewer PC resources or processing resources than you just going straight into a capture card and letting the capture card do all the work? And to be honest, I haven't been on a single PC setup in years, so I don't actually know. So we're gonna test that first, and once I test it, we'll swap this out with another Camlink Pro, probably throw a second HD 60 Pro on our final PCIe Express slot over there, but 10 camera inputs, which is why we're naming this thing Hydra. We're getting rid of Orthrus, we're gonna be pulling it apart, making a handful of PCs with that one PC, and we're replacing it with Hydra here and having potentially 10 cameras go into it for the stream, which I've never seen anyone do before, except for like massive professional productions for like esports stuff. It'll be an interesting looking stream, but I'm pretty pumped about it. So I guess the last thing to do for now is just run a game on it. I mean, we don't have like my 4K 144 hertz monitor here. That's over with Orthrus at Scott's place. But we do have a 1080p 165 hertz. Let's just run Apex. Let's see how it's running. Let's see how the temps go when we're running at like ultra settings on 1080p. Just give it a good test run, see if I did something wrong. See how it works. I need to install, what's that called? I keep wanting to say Burninator, but that's Trogdor. You have no idea who Trogdor is, do you?
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh man. Scott, you're too young. MSI Afterburn?
Oh, yes.
Afterburner, it's not Burninator. Here, you need to see this. Trogdor the Burninator. This is Trogdor. You've never seen this before in your life?
Never seen that before.
You make me sad. Okay, let's see what happens if I run a game. I'm trying to remember if that's all I have to do. Nope, should have done this earlier. Through the magic of editing. Poof. Oh. Magic. Yeah, CPU is still up there. I wonder why. I wonder if we have the water block fully on there. That makes me nervous. Let's jump in a game. Let's see, I guess. There we go. Trios? Sure. I have no audio. I'm gonna ruin two people's games. Sorry, guys.
Did you just stroke your water block?
I wanted to feel if it was warm. Fight me.
Not after you just did that, man.
Oh yeah, 165 frames solid. I'm dead. Yeah, it's on toggle ADS too. That's good though. Stayed at 165 the entire time, and it never went above like 53 degrees. So I think it's just gonna chill there for a bit. We'll have to do some more tests. See when we're running on a 4K monitor, see if it rocks those temps up a little bit. But no dropped frames, 165 hertz the whole time. And as always, wait, no, just kidding. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't now, and as always, happy streaming.